Oops. There we go. Anyway, welcome back. We're missing two people, but it'd be like that sometimes. Last time, the party successfully managed to rescue Ralia, one of the people who, well, as far as you're aware, she was one of the people abducted 64 years ago in the Long Night. Slightly confusing considering the long time period. She, well, this session, she's pretty much going to give you a lowdown of what she knows as soon as other things are dealt with, looking at Gigantic Brain attempting to convince Silas to, I don't know, corrupt reality or something.
Speaking of Silas! It's a bronze.
Bigby's not here.
Yeah, well, he's sitting down.
Oh, I see. But while Bigby's getting set up, Ash,
Yep.
and pretty much everyone would actually hear something. Because as your two companions manage to disable this room, as you'll come to find out, there's a large crashing and rushing of air as you look behind you, and oh, the way you came in is sealed, as a gigantic stone face descends from the ceiling.
Oh, that's not great.
I think if we turn this back on, the door will go up again, I hope, Lillian calls out.
If not, we could just break the door.
I mean, yeah, we'll probably have to, but that's why we have Wolf.
Exactly. He's great at breaking things.
Want to go see what they're protecting then?
Yeah. May as well go see what we can find here.
As Ash, you'll notice even the wards on the pillars themselves and the wards hanging in the air have powered down, for lack of a better another word. I feel like I said that weird. You can freely walk across this room.
Alright, well, I'm just
You don't
going
have
to
to
go.
move yourself, I'm just gonna move all the doors that would technically have been moved. Because there's only really one thing to discover. Which, presuming Ash does go over here, the thing you discover appears to be panic rooms.
Hmm.
As you find 3 rooms, basically set out with a number of bunk beds, what appears to be supplies, and, things that someone could use to basically live in there for like a week or two.
Last time we found panic rooms, wasn't there like a big undead burning skeleton thing inside?
Technically, that was a vault that we converted into a panic room.
Still a panic room, just not a good one.
I mean, yeah. But the more interesting thing about these panic rooms is the researchers who apparently rushed here seem to have been higher up in the hierarchy, at least judging from the blatantly magical objects covering their bodies.
Hmm.
As give me a second, because thankfully you have Lilian with you, and she can very much just cast Identify, as is the power of a divination wizard. Okay then. Let me do some quick formatting. So paste it into OC chat.
Ipos. Ipos.
What?
You know what magic is? Pointing over at Lillian.
Maybe?
Alright, I'm back. I was helping Biggs with something. His headphones broke again, so I'm helping
Again?
fix that. Helping fix
Damn
it!
it, Bigby.
He's fine. He's
Looking,
got this.
hopefully I'm bamming a pair of headphones. How long is it going to keep using this one broken pair?
I don't know, man. It's the other side broke. My side stayed fixed. You have crappy brackets.
As Ash comes to find, there are 3 items. Well, technically there's 4, but the other 3 are picking that one for themselves, unless you want to trade. But there are 3 items that are basically free for your group. The Fumigation Hood, the Wild Magic Anklet, and the Reading Glasses.
Hmm.
Dibs on the
Okay,
wild
then.
magic anklet.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure Aaron's going to want the fumigation hood. Tinder's probably going to want the anklet.
Actually, I didn't care about the hood. I cared more about the glasses.
Erin's short-sighted, she needs that help.
Just because I'm short doesn't mean I'm short-sighted.
Yes, it does.
Wait, you're sure?
And?
Wolf holds up 2 fingers, seeing if you can see them.
He sort of gets that 1,000-yard stare.
I'll post the item your friends found, because you might actually want to trade first, but I assume probably not, because none of you are... that's a lie, actually. Alana's a bard, but she kind of wants to use her scarf over another item, I imagine.
Oh, nice.
Because, well, none of them are a bard. Both of our teams do have bards on them, so gotta
Please
go
note,
fast.
please note,
I-
if anybody has a UMD skill, technically you could emulate being a bard for an hour.
Hello.
It's true.
Yes, I do.
It does require a high check, but you could do it.
And the main issue there is you can't use it spend rounds to gain more movement.
Yeah,
That's why
besides
it's
I'm not
passive.
melee. I don't care about a +1 rapier. By the way, JMac, the fumigation hood has conflicting information in it.
Where is it? Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah, it's supposed to
yeah.
be 15.
I'm afraid triggering a wild magic event, that is just Ipos. That's Ipos in a nutshell.
That's
I will
you
note,
in a nutshell.
you all have everyone but Wolf. Oh fuck! I forgot to do Aaron. Oh no, I did do Aaron. Where the fuck did? Okay, never mind. I need to redo Aaron's list. All of you but Wolf have personal lists that you get to roll on to see what your wild magic event is. I'll tell you now. I do not have a fucking 1d100 list, but you have 10 results. 5 of them are good. 5 of them are bad. With one of them being very good and one of them being very bad.
The problem is it's once per day.
Yeah, you can mess around with it.
Yeah, but
Thank
And are you
God
very
it's
likely to
only
do
once
anything
per day.
important today?
I mean, depends what's happening with Mr. Big Brain.
Fair.
It's totally one of those things that Epos would just trigger randomly for shits and giggles.
I honestly think you're okay. Yeah, your worst result is probably the worst of everyone's.
As it should be.
He's a sorcerer druid. That's pretty predictable.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
I'm just expecting lightning to rain down from the skies on all of us.
I think the only worst would be sorcerer witch.
Then it'd be cursed lightning.
Oh yeah, the abilities you get are very much thematic of what you can already do. For instance, Silas's shit is all psychic-y, forcey things. Ash's shit is a mix of cursey, summony things. Ipos is mostly lightning and fey magic. Alana is a lot of stuff that alters her scarf or is weird bleeding effects.
And all of Aaron's is somewhere between fuck and all.
Erin's thing is a mix of the circumstances she has come under and enhancing her constructs.
So Aaron doesn't actually benefit, but Rusty becomes strong.
That was the general gist, yes. But as for specifics, you have to actually use the item and note down the results that you get.
What equipment slot would they take?
The anklet does not take a slot, the glasses
Sweet.
take eye slot, hood takes a head slot, and this is a weapon.
It's a
Good.
weapon.
So I was worried for a moment that it would take the foot slot, and it's like, but then I'd have to take my bubblefoot boots off. I can't be
It's
taking them off.
special.
Stop this. So, fine.
I'm just going to.
And before somehow you managed to just fucking blow up the entire school.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's not much else to the panic rooms other than that you can clearly see the effects of when this place was teleported, as there's like the viscera of the people like on the ceiling, on the walls where they probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great. Yeah,
Oh.
other than that, unless you want more rations, yeah.
Are the doors, I'm presuming doors, supposed to just be in like the void?
Yeah. Because they lifted when the this door to the entrance shut.
Okay then. Doors in the void.
It's fine. Technically
Where
they'd
else
be
do you
above
put
it.
doors that you're not using?
Yeah, technically they'd be above the rooms, but whatever.
Yeah.
So then this big be almost alive again.
He's getting there.
Oh, actually, another thing I can do. Is anyone going to investigate this room? Or the incubator chamber?
No reason to. Is that not like the area we're in?
Yeah, well, that's the area where Aaron's chopping bodies up.
And Wolf and Ipos.
Yeah, so Wolf and Ippos are looking around. Clearly the best duo.
I forgot there's 2 other things in that loot hoard. I was forgetting something.
Cloak of Resistance 1 and a brooch of shielding with 29 hit points left.
Pretty sure all of us want that cloak of resistance. That's just a universally good item.
Yeah.
Time for rock, paper, scissors.
I wouldn't say no, but my saves are already jank.
Wolf will arm wrestle all of you for it.
No.
Okay, clearly the best way to go about this is to have Marie draw cards, and whoever has the highest value card wins.
And that's certainly an option you can do, but I'll wait until everyone is here to do that.
Yeah,
For
I
now.
don't think we're in any rush.
No. For now, Apos and Wolf, kind of the unlikely pair for investigation, can investigate the incubator chamber while other people are chopping up bodies and fucking entering the dream space.
Wolf is the best at investigation.
Yep.
Well, thankfully you're actually very useful here, because there's a lot of documents here written in Freyne, and Apos would not be able to read those. However, you can.
Nope. I could get a general gist using linguistics, but I could not read them. Instead, Ipos can climb over the tanks.
It's true. You find the things that have been noted before, like the what the fuck? The stabilizing solution within these tanks. You can see. Why the fuck is this always? Hold on, I'm going to close my window.
For those who couldn't hear, there was a car alarm in his background.
That's a bit better. What's the fucking car alarm come from? The only other thing you can really notice about these tanks currently is that these are, well, at least as Ipos like clambers over them, there's like a dried sediment along the bottom and edges of these tanks. And as Wolf starts to read the various journals around here, oh, that's why.
Is it people
These are-
bits?
I mean,
He's making Soylent Green.
Silent Green is people. But not quite, but kind of. These are basically, the alchemist has a certain way of making the monsters he does. He essentially makes a blueprint and grows them from scratch inside these incubation chambers. Normally, there'd be a kind of nutrient slop that would be held within these things so that they could grow creatures. Unfortunately, it appears a lot of that has been used up.
If I, stick my arm in the stabilizing agent, will it do bad things?
No,
Stick my arm in.
it's kind of sticky.
Yeah, largely what I imagine the process happening here is Wolf ends up reading through like a lot of this stuff, reading out in Freyan because that's what it's written in.
Yeah.
Which then perks Aaron's ears, and then it ends up going back to Ippos afterwards.
I guess freeway translation. But technically what you learned here is, if you are able to supply the reagents, you can technically make monsters here, should that be something you're interested in.
Does it happen to have a list of ingredients?
Yeah, it's actually a lot of common shit, like salts, metals, trace elements, stuff like that. You just need a decent amount of it.
Ipos. Ipos, why do you only like natural things?
What was that, Turk? Sorry?
I'm getting mild format of alchemist vibes here. Just great. Here's the formula for a person.
Kind of.
No, do not do that.
Let's get your mum back, why not? The other important thing is you can see basically some of the recipes he has for his own creations, which I'll list out the names of because who knows? Let me just get rid of this bit. No, I actually paste it first.
I have a dumb idea.
Mhm.
It's chaotically aligned, but it's so stupid.
Chaotic stupid, let's go.
And it will likely come up to nothing. But on the slim chance it comes up to something, we'd have a cake monster.
Please, no.
Okay. Cake, okay.
I mean, technically, since the start of the campaign, Ipos has been carrying around 5 bags of travel cake mix.
I did vaguely actually remember being like, I'm gonna get this cake mix.
Yeah, and then I did nothing with it. But now I could make cake monster.
You can make a really good cake out of some cake mix and some beer, which Wolf has.
You could make a beer cake monster. For science!
I dread.
Is Erin paying any sort of attention?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to fix something. What?
Ipos and Wolf are sort of vaguely planning on making some form of beer cake monster. And if
No.
Evan's like distracted, she might not see them and stop them.
I'm currently elbow deep in a monster, so have fun.
Do you wish to
I
add
mean,
fucking cake mix?
chances are nothing will come of it. You know, it's not the right ingredients for it. It will just make some sort of horrible amalgamation cake which tastes disgusting. But on the slim chance, I'm up for it.
Wolf, do you want to add anything to this disgusting cake monster mix?
Sure. We'll add in 2 pints of beer.
Okay.
What else does Wolf have to chuck into the pile?
No, just casual science experiments while we're waiting for Big B.
So there's a cake. What I'll pop in. What goes well with this? I'll chuck in a few strawberries. That'll go well. This iron nugget.
I'm not sure iron nuggets go well in cake.
Ingredients. Oh, and some salt.
That's important.
Look, Wolf clearly knows about alchemy. Clearly knows
So,
about alchemy.
cake mix, 2 pints of beer, some strawberries, an iron nugget, and some salt.
I have 5 cake mix. I could just dump all of them in. Yeah, let's just dump it. Ipos doesn't know baking. This just should make something big. So, bomph.
Can this be qualified as baking?
J-Mac,
Yes.
I'm going to try.
Okay, give me a second.
Alchemy is just fancy baking.
As Wolf, you can take control of the incubator. There's numerous like dials and like valves that you can use to set stuff like temperature, pressure, and other such things.
No idea what this means, but and temperature should clearly be this and that. So we'll just start suggesting dials.
I'm going to roll a D100. On a 90 plus, this thing fucking explodes because you have absolutely no idea what the fuck you're doing. Okay.
Aww.
That's worse somehow. As you evidently have pressed something because, well, nothing seems to happen to begin with. You have a feeling this would take some time. As baking a cake does, obviously.
Yeah.
You just need to let it like sit and rise and all that good cake stuff, and then get back to it.
Wolf will be happily chatting with Ippos in the meanwhile, chucking him a snack out of his bag to eat in the meanwhile.
Yum, 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 yum.
Big SMH material.
Blame Big B. If he was here, I wouldn't have time to do this shit.
It's true.
Aaron, are you okay? That's like the 5th heart I've seen you pull out.
Ipos not know they had so many hearts.
I didn't know they had so many hearts.
Ipos is just assuming all 5 hearts have come out of one person. He has so much love to give.
Let's fucking juggle these 7 hearts. Boop, 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 boop.
I like the idea that Ash is going to walk back in though and see this thing like boiling, steaming.
View the monster that you've created, yes.
I mean, it's fine. Look, it's a big cake monster, and Wolf is hungry. It's fine.
I feel like that makes it worse. You just create something to eat it. A living, potentially sentient
What do you
being.
think you do with cake? Okay, cakes normally aren't sentient, but you know, you regularly make things
Say.
to eat.
What the fuck cakes are you making? Yes, cakes are usually sentient.
All of my cakes have a face, so they can see when I cut into them.
As 10-15 minutes pass as you continue chatting and watching your disgusting cake creation, as Wolf, you kind of look in, it's like, yeah, that's got oh. It's like undulating. Probably more than a cake mix should.
I'm going to pick up Ippo so he can see inside.
It's like, I'm trying to think. Have you guys ever fought an ooze before? Yeah, you have actually. You
Yes.
fought an ooze like 5 minutes ago. It's almost
was
like
the
ooze-like
thing?
in its consistency.
Ippos? That doesn't look right, does it? He says, still holding Ippos up in the air so he can see inside.
Ipos not know. Ipos not make cake before.
I don't think it's supposed to wiggle like that. Mine's never wiggled like that before.
Maybe you not make right. Maybe you're supposed to. It fine. Look, it not have eyes or anything. It fine.
Advice. J-Mac.
Muted, sorry. But did you ask if it has eyes?
Yes.
Not that you can see, at least. It might. I mean, no. Like, it doesn't have like anything that's analogous to like a human eye peering out. It's just kind of jiggling.
It fine. Maybe the machine just shaking it a bit. Mix it up.
Wolf's going to crank a couple more of the dials.
Oh my god. Okay. All seems well as the condensation forming on the top of the incubator goes down a bit, and the mix seems to settle out, not as wiggly anymore.
See, Ippos told you it'd be fine.
I imagine this case, if it's not climbing on top of the machine so he can steam by himself.
Yeah, probably. You know what he's like, I'd be surprised he ever came down.
Because this is going to go well.
I'm trying desperately to find like a cake monster which doesn't look cartoonish so I can make a token.
Oh my god.
Are you
What?
done? I don't. How many hearts have you poured out?
Enough, but yeah, I'm basically done.
I mean, I'm going to post you something, J-Mac. I don't think it's what you're looking for, but I'm going to post you something.
Okay. Okay. No, not quite like that.
It's pretty good, though.
Yeah.
I put that random shit, actually. I don't get to see that one.
This looks sufficiently cake mix-ish. It's just a yellow ochre jelly, but whatever. Yeah, Aaron, you like get closer and you can hear this disgusting like sloshing from within the incubator.
I thought we were trying to fight Lamash, do not help her.
May not help. We make cake.
That last year?
No, I mean, she is the mother of mutants, and you made a mutant.
No, we make cake.
Mutant cake.
No,
It's just cake.
new cake. Lots of different kind of cake. It's just different cake.
You might have to make a choice here.
Hmm?
Aaron goes into her vest and pulls out a grenade.
No,
I don't
no.
think that's very.
It's fine.
Hey, what's this we're hearing about cake over the wind? This is getting a little concerning.
They made
We're
a
making-
monster.
It's nearly ready.
Not making monster.
It's moving.
Manything move. Not doesn't mean
Not
monster.
cake.
It's special moving cake.
Actually, Oppose, that doesn't look like cake anymore.
Sort of looks down into the tank.
As
Oh, it's so
strange,
cute.
strange pseudopods start to kind of like reach up out of the primordial mass of itself, reaching up the sides of the incubator, almost like hands.
No, you stay.
I'm killing it.
Stay. No, you've not done anything wrong yet.
Wolf, help me up.
I lift Aaron up.
I drop a grenade in the vat.
I bat the grenade away.
Okay,
Fuck!
I mean,
I knock it down and the grenade goes off on the other corner.
I was gonna say, Aaron, from your very detailed expertise of, a craftsman person, dropping a grenade into this fucking thing is probably the worst idea, like an awful idea, even if yours aren't necessarily fiery.
Okay.
I'm hearing some concerning noises.
Give me...
Rough scorch marks.
Dude, Ippos. Seriously?
What?
You can't tell me this is a good idea.
It not worst idea.
It's not great.
I'll reach down with my spear and poke it with the blunt end. See how it reacts.
It attempts to try and like climb up your spear.
No, stay.
Look, Ippos, you were so miffed about the fact that there was various aberrations. You hate them, from what I can tell. This is one of those. I'm not sure why you're giving preferential treatment to this one.
They different. They make corrupt everywhere. This just new. This.
I don't think we did a right thing here.
No.
And yeah,
Okay,
Ippos
we
doesn't
couldn't
have a
find
baby
any
Nick.
pitchforks, but we do have torches. We are ready to kill a
I'm-
monster.
Give me a second. I got it. It's
Just-
fine.
just-
Aaron, go.
Wait, just wait. You're not do anything yet. Just wait a minute.
I don't want to wait because it's gonna grow.
Just wait.
I mean, unless you keep feeding it more, Marie speaks over the wind connection, it shouldn't.
There's more in the vat.
And the vats are pretty big. Throwing it, even though they throw in like 5 bags of cake mix,
It
doesn't
was
really fill.
it was in total the cake mix was only half a pound. It's not
Yeah.
a lot of cake mix.
Like, this is designed to hold a pretty big creature. This thing, the ooze is just kind of collected at the bottom.
Look, Ippos, you're gonna need to talk to your better part. This is like a divorce situation. Wolf doesn't want to keep the child. You do. You gotta sort of work to a
just-
agreement here, man.
Just give me 10 minutes. Let me see if it at least has mind, maybe.
I pass an alchemist fire to Wolf and saying, after 10 minutes, you know what to do.
Wolf makes his other hand suddenly turn into a whole bunch of spiky branches.
Don't break the vat. The vat's actually valuable. I'm more referring to the creature. Just dump alchemist fire in it.
You know, you were recently told that like an explosive grenade would be a bad idea, and do you really think setting fire to it would be a good idea?
Aaron looks back at the vat.
Fun fact: the vat does have a button that says vent.
Never mind. I actually hit that button there.
Just
That's
give
better.
10 minutes.
At about
Alright.
this point in time, Prismelody shows up with a burning glaive.
Priz, they got it. It's fine.
Are you sure?
They're having a couple's disagreement. They need to know what they want to do with the child.
And Ipos is essentially going to spend the 10 minutes just doing various things to try and work out if this thing actually has a mind and intelligence score, basically, or if it is just a mindless blob.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Say roll me a dungeoneering, even if you don't have it trained.
I will have an action prepared to make it go splush if it attacks
Poof.
someone.
You go, Ipos.
Ipos, you spend some time playing with your baby, making sure it's okay, going for overall baby tests. As far as you can tell, it doesn't seem intelligent. It just reacts to stimuli by trying to grab it. You put a spear in, it grabs it. It hears noise, it reaches towards it. I mean, that said, it's literally the only thing you've used to make it is fucking cake mix, beer, and strawberries and iron nugget and a bit.
I know that, but you
I
know.
know.
This is
Unless
the
you
first time
wanted to try
Ipos
and
has
make it
created
intelligent
life,
somehow.
so.
It's fair.
I mean, I do have an anklet of wild magic.
Oh my god.
Ippos, your magic is not creation; it's destruction.
Yes, but it's wild. No, I won't be using that on this.
No.
As much as I would like to, because Ipos needs more pets. I, as a player, see that as a bad idea. So I'll have to save that for when you guys aren't looking.
That thing is gonna latch onto your face in the middle of the night.
You said same about Eel and Mimic, and they not yet.
Give it time.
But he'll just basically be like, "Aw, poor thing," and jump down off the top and purposely land on the button to vent it. Bye bye.
I like that you kind of slap at your tail as you jump down.
As you hit the vent button, there's suddenly the top seals properly, and there's a sound of great pressure inside as you just hear as the contents are sucked away somewhere.
And surely we will never see that again.
Let me.
Please, God, don't ever let us see that again.
Come on.
I will actually just kill it.
That's not even the worst thing I've done.
Finally, the BBEG. Fucking mutated cake mix.
Done ripping out hearts and kidneys. Is that someone's spine?
Yeah, yes, it is someone's spine.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Wolf is just looking back and forth over all of the carnage.
It's pretty bad in here. A lot of blood. I'm shaking my head so hard.
I shouldn't have printed it with a raft.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's a reference to something, but I do not know what.
Aaron, you okay? Poke.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm sorry. I'm just busy thinking. And Silas is over there yammering in his head. Look,
I can Aaron if need to.
yeah. Frankly, if you want my opinion on a few things, Silas is working on a few moral quandaries at the moment. Once he finishes up, if we can just go. There's not anything else here that I'm interested in.
You want me to help carry your stuff?
No, Rusty's got it. I reduced it down to manageable amount. But if everyone, how are the other schmucks doing? I'll go check that
We're
out.
all very concerned over here.
Okay.
Why? It all in control.
We don't believe that. Aaron, is anything actually under control?
Actually, surprisingly, yes, everything's fine. It's just they
See?
keep doing
See? Told ya.
crap.
That does sound suspiciously right. Lillian quips. Oh,
Ipos knew
would
what he
be-
was doing.
You
would be
distinctly, I mean,
reacting.
okay, and he knew individually what he was doing, but the collective, he has no idea.
Ipos knew enough.
I don't believe that.
Anyway,
So, does anybody have anything else they need to do down here, or can we leave this fresh hellhole?
Do we have to go smell of cake now?
I'm gonna give Biggs my headphones while I fix this.
okay.
Okay.
Well, time to leave. I'm gonna make you. Well, we're gonna make a proper cake,
That
Or your
was
busted
proper
grave.
cake.
not living cake.
Only little living. It not really smart or nothing.
I pick up the Ipos.
He just lets himself get picked. Not like he can resist it anyway.
I just sit you off. I just sit you off on my shoulders and then just stop. I just start walking out with you. If we don't leave, I think others are gonna get upset at us.
Yeah, they just
Me?
boring.
Testing.
Hello. You
So
missed
touch
us making
20.
cake.
I heard.
Yeah, fucking Ipos and Wolf decided, oh, these incubators, let's just pour a bunch of cake mix, beer, and some other shit in here and see what happens.
Oh, Jesus.
And thanks to
We
Deal
were
Contra Tools, they did
waiting.
not blow up and they managed to actually create life.
I'm not surprised considering the yeast in a beer and just a lot of stuff going there.
I had
What was
5
it?
trial cake mixes I dumped in.
It was quite logical of it. He treated it as if he was making a cake just with extra iron.
Oh, God.
He literally chucked in a nugget of iron.
Why?
Because living things have iron in their blood, so he thought iron would help.
Actually,
The-
one more question. Why the fuck do you have a nugget of iron?
Also, in my defense, I didn't go into it purposely trying to create a living thing. I just thought it would be a hilarious thing if it happened.
The problem was it was 2 8 wisdom characters bouncing off each other while being left unsupervised.
Yeah.
You just ruled very well. Otherwise,
Also,
nothing would happen. It would
Ipos
just
is
be-
10 intelligence.
Wisdom.
No, he's 10 wisdom.
Headsets again.
What's that be? Sorry?
He's swapping headsets.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming it's fixed then.
But yeah, Ipos is 10 and 10. He's not stupid, he's not unwise. He's just Ipos.
And at this point now, Wolf is carrying Ipos out.
Yes. Away from the chaos.
Okay, while occasionally chucking him another snack. Though Ipos is forced to catch it. Not handing it to Ipos, he is to catch it.
It's fine. He has a mouth. He can catch.
There we go. Testing.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
you're here
fine.
again.
Yes, I am. Thank God. Also, Sideline, your headset is alright, but it feels weird whenever that your mic doesn't have any feedback into your ears for the noise canceling.
Oh, I do, because that's a different. You have to download a program for that.
Yeah, mine do that automatically via hardware.
No, it's fine. I think it's fine.
Okay, sure.
Big P, to give you a quick recap, Ash went with your companions and found the loot in some panic rooms, which is
Huzzah.
listed in the out of character chat.
I saw those. They seem fairly nice.
But meanwhile,
Ipos has
you-
dibs on the anklet.
Oh,
Of
actually,
course.
it's important
Feel
to note
free.
every character who can cast spells has their own personal magic item or wild magic table for that. So while Ipos is holding on to it, if you ever want to try and discover stuff when as I die inside, if you ever want to try and discover what abilities yours has, I mean that's a valid option in the future. But anyway, last we left off, you were talking to a giant fucking brain.
Yes, I was.
Which, let's see, your last question was a long thing.
It was because it was very rambly and it was meant to both play to its ego as well as play to our to it being a bit impressed with me from the psychic duel earlier, as well as potentially playing down everything around him, like all the corrupted things as being lesser.
Oh wait, I already thought of a response for this. As you essentially ask whether or not it's connected to the Mash 2 or V Mother Assist, you just kind of get laughter over your mental link. As I try to remember how the fuck to do a lisp. Oh, you think I'm one of their fervent? Oh, they could only try. Perhaps if I was weaker, popular, I would be subservient, but no. I reject you for offerings.
All right then. Question: Is it fair to say that I still have my sense mode from earlier for this part?
As I to remove the
Nice.
chewing gum from my lips. Sure.
Does that
It's not
sound
easier if I
honest?
don't have to. Yeah. Or at least it sounds conceited enough that you think it's honest.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? All right then. That settles things for Silas, because now he's fairly convinced that this thing's harmless, quote unquote. It's relatively harmless. Well, all right. In this case, Overmind, I shall agree to carry your token.
Oh, I knew you would. Do you wish to collect it yourself, or if I can bring it to you?
I shall collect it. Do not worry. There's no need to trouble yourself.
Well then, if you're aware of events, wait underneath one and I'll drop it to you.
Shall do. Silas will send a mental ping to Curiosity to go to vent. Wait at vent.
Sure, curiosities can go to the event they're aware of, and as they do, you feel a sense of recognition as a small black globe is dropped into June's hand. Well then, if you are not too busy, I can elaborate on my first lesson with you right now. It should be quick.
Yes, I do believe I have a bit of time, he says, looking over at Epos and Wolf.
Okay, give me a second as I will send you. Basically, the Overmind is able to tutor you in certain aspects of psionic magic. You get a choice of what you get. Dun, 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 dun. And I misspelled that. Also cut for one. There
Dang. Dang.
we go. You don't necessarily need to make this choice straight away, but you know what they are now.
Yes, indeed. Alright. That decision at some point.
But with that, you are essentially done here.
Oh my god, I can't believe you've done this.
I'm. Okay. I will explain whenever we are away from its presence.
You just brought its presence with us. Literally what you did.
Yes, but it will be far easier to shunt out of explanations.
Okay. By the way, for this, I'm gonna go talk to the alchemist. Can you think you can get me to talk to him?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, think of it as payment for giving me an aneurysm.
Fine. Hmm.
Oops, I'm muted. I'm gonna be dragging you across a bunch of maps as I try and get you back.
I won't ignore it. You can't make me.
Oh yeah,
As
we
you
passed
can-
that spiritual disturbance.
Yes. As you can step outside again, you came in here fairly late, actually, didn't you? Because you basically travelled with. Yeah, it took you a bunch of hours to travel here. It's currently nighttime, or rather twilighty. The weather is nice and cool. There's a gentle breeze that washes over you, and everything seems kind of cool.
I don't know if anyone else hates this plan, but frankly, I just want to be home. Could really use my bed.
Well, I've got lots of hours of marching left in me.
Epos has trusty mount, pats Wolf.
I pat the kobold.
I have a rusty trusty mount. Pat dog.
Dog pats back. Evan is crushed.
Wait, what? I just, frankly, I don't know if anyone else can just get home. It's gonna suck, but
Marie creates a cart.
Yeah.
oh,
It's kind of weird because you just kind of see her take out her tome of papercraft and start folding paper out of it in a connected stream. Somehow, eventually, ends up working its way into a very intricate origami cart. Ta-da!
that works.
Well, I mean, not all of us can ride on Rusty, and actually, you know the mint spell. Yes, you do. As Muriel will be able to also conjure up some horses, as if you do not wish to walk, you can instead ride in cart.
Hell yeah. So, did we ever investigate this?
No, we never
No.
did. We walked past it.
We should
Yes,
probably.
Ipos would like to, because I think it was Ipos and Wolf that sensed that first.
Yes. But also, I realized one thing. As Lillian remembers the entire reason you brought her, she's like, oh shit, I was supposed to check if there was weird planar shit, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Give me a quick second. As I need to quick open the
Most
sheet.
notably, I think the pond would be a great idea for a portal.
She can go have a look-see with a scanny jigger. Just give me a second. Really? You don't have perception trained? Oh, that's a d10, that's why. Ooh, okay. As a couple of minutes later, Lillian will exit the complex and say, good news, I indeed found a planar aperture that you could use to get somewhere. I don't think it's for where you want to go, though.
Where is it?
I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the lower planes.
Oh, it's good to know then. Judging from the themes that we've seen in this place, likely the, what's it called? The Abyss?
She shrugs. The spell's kind of shit.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Nevertheless, yeah. Hopefully we don't find anything to kill us at the spiritual disturbance, I think you called it. Because if we're going to be fighting anything, I need to remake a bunch of things.
Yes, we go in, scout bout, see what happened. If
All
need
right.
fight, then maybe back off.
Sure. I'm cool with that.
Ipos grabs like a handful of Wolf's hair and starts steering him. Onward, mount!
Give me a second. I need to.
I bap Ipos in the face.
Ah!
I drive.
No, you walk, Ipos drive.
It's Marie's cart and horse.
I'm walking. Did you forget that Wolf basically is a horse?
Yeah, I'll be riding on the outside. I got rusty.
It's a good point though. Wolf would. If Ipos end up pulling on his hair, he's going to throw Ipos into the cart.
Bad mount.
Can I have 3 D100s?
Yes.
Dibs on one of them.
Fine. You're fine. You're fine. Thankfully, no encounters on your way to the spiritual disturbance. Perhaps
Excellent.
because you're such a large group that you basically scare off anything that is close by. Give me a second. I need to see if I hid this map. Or if it's up here somewhere. Because as you get closer to the spiritual disturbance, you certainly see some things. So this one's another one I drew myself, because I was feeling spacey.
So you're gonna go for the collection of all three mental weapons of mass destruction, Silas?
What you're talking about?
Oh, just things that could probably cause significant damage to a local region.
Oh yes, potentially it could. But there's a reason why I am not too scared of it now after interacting with it more. It is only raw power. That is it. It is raw intellect and nothing else.
That's not a good thing.
It is whenever it cannot meaningfully interact with the world.
I somehow doubt that, but I mean, I don't have a way of denying that statement. I still don't. I think it would have been better to leave it down there, but is
Potentially,
there a
yes.
reason why you're bringing it though? Because I
Call
can
it
see that.
pity and
Oh.
potential upside.
All right.
After all, if in case it wasn't actually explained to you what it was.
No, I saw it.
No, I mean origin.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
It is the collective mind of a very large number of researchers from that lab.
Oh,
Something happened, and they were melded into one.
that just seems annoying.
Yes. Also a little terrifying, as you know, but that is why I said it is almost entirely intellect and nothing really to worry about.
All right.
It has all the raw knowledge, but as you know, researchers are not the most. They don't have the most force of personality a lot of the time.
I'm insulted.
Aaron, you have said it yourself.
Aaron says that very dryly, but she's well aware of what she said.
Yes, good. I see you agree with me, good. But now you understand why.
Yeah.
As much as it can cast very high circle spells, it is just raw power. That is all.
I suppose you can learn something from it.
That as well, yes.